Well, let's chop it up this morning. About talk a little bit about social media, a couple of other things in our little conversation this morning. I hear a lot of older adults talk about all the bad things that occur on social media. Also talk about the kids and what the kids are doing on social media and how bad social media is for the kids. Well, the way I see it is this. The way you live your life without social media, the people that you relate to, that you rely on, that you go into, that you talk to, that you conversate with, it's no different than being on social media, because you take your time to decipher between the friends or the people that you want to be around that you don't. Social media is the same. You come across something you don't like, keep going. You come across something you don't agree with, keep going. You come across something you don't think is true and you don't want to believe, keep going. Or do your research and find out if it's really true or not. I think social media is an excellent way of engaging the world and many different things that they would not be able to engage in otherwise. I'm sure somebody has learned something from TikTok, or learned something from Facebook, or learned something from Instagram, or Twitter. I don't really use Twitter like that, or Snapchat like that, but I'm pretty sure somebody has gained some sort of knowledge from it. Now, if you paid attention to the bad stuff, like those bad TV shows, then you gain some bad stuff from it too. But you still have the mind to be able to say, I don't want to watch this, I don't want to see this, just like you can say, I don't want to be on social media. But social media ain't the enemy, I don't think. You still have the ability to decipher between that. Now, I say that to segue my way into this. I'm really enjoying now all of the AI stuff that's being posted on these different social media platforms about black people and the differences that were back in the day that you never see or have never seen, and the differences that could be. You see all the negative posts about African American people or black people, and you really don't see a lot of the positive posts, where a lot of the AI now, and hopefully I can show you guys some of these things, are now depicting the African American culture as successful, as kings, as queens, as superheroes, as dominant figures, as prominent figures, as positive public figures. A lot of this wouldn't be possible without the AI and social media for some kids or some people to see this, instead of always seeing the narrative of the slave ship. It can go two ways. You show people all the slave ship, all the Roots movies, all the handcuffs, so they can keep pressing on to try their best or work their best not to even get caught up in heading back that way. But if some people aren't as strong mentally, and you show them these things and they get caught up as that being their culture, and one day it's easier for them to go back to that way. Not everybody's the same. It's the same as how they say they show people as shooters, killers, murderers in your area. That's all you're surrounded with. You're more likely to become that type person. But I think the AI is doing a great job as showing our culture as prominent, successful figures. I like for kids to be able to see that, and one day they might feel like they can be that. Not only for kids, man. You look at older adults that are working to still become something or to become something else. They look at those, and that could be a support system in itself, not realizing that's a support system. We'll talk a little bit about Deion Sanders and how everybody hates him. Everybody don't hate him. I don't hate him. A lot of people don't hate him. But the people on his level hate him because, or they're anti-Deion, let's say that, because he's a prominent, successful figure who knows he's successful, knows how to be successful, knows how to become more successful, and sticks to his strategy of doing it. The other day I made a post about mediocre people not liking people that strive for success all the time. And, you know, Deion is one of those guys that strive for success. And when he's reaching the success level that he's reaching, you know, he's earned the right to be able to brag and boast and carry himself the way that he does. You know, if you really talk about him, he seems to be a God-fearing man. He loves his kids. He loves his family. You know, that's one thing that they really talk against in the African-American community. One, a father in the house or around his children all the time. You know, they try to tear that down, but Deion's a model that you can't tear down that way because he shows that image. He shows that picture. You know, so now kids look to a father figure, or more fathers look to be better father figures just based from something that they may have seen from Deion. Or so, you know, they got to live their own life. They're going to do it how they want to do it either way. Not saying Deion is the cause of people to be good or bad fathers, but it definitely gives you another image of what you can be. You know, let's talk about football a little bit. He took the path that most haven't taken to be successful in football, and that's another reason that they don't like him or they don't support him as much, because they feel like he ain't put in the work. He didn't put in the work, so you know, he doesn't deserve to be where he is now. He took that other route. Well, let's talk about all the African-American coaches or the other people of our culture that have put in the work. They put in all the work and haven't reached that success level that he's reached. What do you say to them? You know, do you say, hey man, this world ain't right because, you know, you guys put in the work and you ain't being rewarded for that work? You know? So that's all I'm saying about that today. But again, I want to thank all these people that are using these social media platforms to depict the African American culture in such a light, you know, because you can listen to something and you hear it and you might forget it, it might go away, but it's more likely to stick if you hear it and you see it. You know, up until about a few years ago, you never saw, like, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was a Christmas musical all by black people. All the other Christmas movies that were African American based were never musicals or never shown in a truly positive light. When you look at those, all those are made, or most of those are made by, you know, Caucasian America. You know, I can remember a movie with Kevin Hart in it, and he was a single father, a single black father at that. You know, you think about that. How many movies have you really seen where the lead role character is an African American father? You see that in the Caucasian community, but if you do see a prominent African American father, he's normally with, you know, his wife or with his significant other. But in that particular movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but Kevin Hart is the single dad. He's a single father that's raised his daughter at that. So the irony in that, a single black father raising a single black daughter. You know, so I'm enjoying it. I wish they had some audio with those images, with those pictures, you know, because I want to see what the king sounds like as an African American man. I want to hear what the queen sounds like as an African American female. I want to hear, you know, these people speak. You know, black emperors. They're showing black people in China, you know, as black Chinese and in powerful movements. You know, if you only hear about the shackles, you only hear about the cuffs, you only hear about the negative stuff, man, you know, that stays in your brain. And hopefully your fight or flight kicks in to never go back to that kind of lifestyle. Now, I'm not talking against any other culture right now. All I'm saying is what's happened in the past, what's happening in the present, what I'd like to see, and what I would like to see happen in the future. You know, future's built for everybody. We just got to go out and keep being prominent and get it. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Moors in history, in, I would say, African American history, but get an opportunity, research the Moors. You know, see what they say about them. See the stories that they hear about, that you hear about them. You know, I enjoy reading or viewing a selection that came from Facebook, but was suggested to me by a highly educated individual, and I had never heard about the Moors. But the more I listened, the more I read, I was like, wow, this is the part of history about African American people that you don't hear. You don't hear those success stories from way back when. You don't see those videos of success stories from way back when. You see the videos of what happened, and it wasn't so long ago. But you don't see the prominent videos. So as we approach it, I'll bring Juneteenth into this too. And I'm so happy that Juneteenth has come about, has been formed. I love to celebrate. And I had a young lady ask me the other day, she said, well, since Juneteenth is come about, are you going to still celebrate July 4th? I said, yes, I am going to celebrate July 4th, and I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth. So I don't know why they feel like, because Juneteenth came about, there's no need for African American people to celebrate July 4th. I mean, that makes no sense to me. Black people fought and were successful in acquiring freedom for others. Why not celebrate your achievement as black people? You did the thing. You just did it for somebody else. So now Juneteenth is a celebration, and everybody should be celebrating Juneteenth. If the world is really going to move to what you wanted to move to, it ain't a difference between everybody celebrating Juneteenth and everybody celebrating July 4th. The Caucasian community should be celebrating with us on Juneteenth, just as well as they like to celebrate July 4th, and we all like to celebrate July 4th together. So we got to raise the morale of that holiday up, so everybody can get together and have a good time and celebrate, because that is the way of the world now. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I hope you had a good opportunity to listen and think about some of the things that I said, man. Feel free to comment. Feel free to pose me with any questions. After all, these are for discussions. This is not the way to live your life or not live your life. I like to give both sides of the story. I don't like to pick a side. I don't like to judge people based off the side that they pick, because you can't really judge people. You can't really judge a situation. You can talk about a situation, based off of your experience, based off your knowledge, but you can't judge what a person thinks or what a person is doing with their life based off your life or based off your beliefs. Everybody got different beliefs. And at the end of the day, when it's time to answer for those beliefs, the human race ain't the answer system. So that's enough for me this morning. Thank you guys for chopping it up with me, and I look forward to chopping up with you a little bit later on at another date. Peace.